Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our on again, off again random series where we watch movies so that you still watch those movies because you're not going to not watch these movies.
Especially this one that we're reviewing today.
Yeah. Point is, no, it's not a review, it's a hot take. Welcome to our hot takes. They're our very, very strange series.
Also, are you sure we watched Black Widow? I didn't see her anywhere in the movie, since she's wearing a white suit. She's White Widow.
It's White Widow. Let's just call her Madam Web. We watched Madam Web.
Oh, that would have been an interesting twist. It ties into the next Spider-Man.
Really weird. No. No.
That's going
to
be
be guys.
good too.
So yeah. Welcome back. None of that's being cut out to our series about reviewing shows that we're not actually reviewing. By talking about what our opinions on them without looking at anyone else's. We have came back. It has been like 6 hours since the movie because we couldn't record this earlier. We are here to talk about our first impressions of the movie Black Widow based on no outside opinions, so our opinions do not reflect anyone else's and are probably shit.
Haven't seen any reviews, and I saw all the trailers for it.
Yep, I saw none of the trailers.
Yeah, so, I'll say this, it's probably as good as any other Marvel movie. I mean, it's a Marvel movie.
I found it good. Like it was a decent movie.
I loved everything that was trying to be funny, because it was funny.
Yeah, movie was very good.
The movie tried really hard to get you to like Yelena.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, we won't go too much into spoilers at first, as we normally do. We'll give like our general opinions on the movie and then go in depth. But yeah, the new characters are all very enjoyable. I like them all. I liked what they did with the plot. I have to admit, I did not realize she was not from the Soviet Union itself.
Who? Natasha?
Yes, I thought the whole thing was that she was actually from the Soviet Union and brainwashed there. So I thought she was originally Russian. But this movie seems to indicate she is not. Because I hadn't known the whole Black Widow history. So this movie...
I have a vague idea about it. I know...
Yeah.
I think the original was American.
Yeah, so...
So maybe they just went with that.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they went very well in depth with Black Widow's history. And, it was a very good family movie. It was literally about family. So
yeah, if you want to sit down with your family and watch it, freaking watch it.
Yeah. Especially if you're in a... Yeah, sit down and watch it if you have bad relations with your family, and I'm sure that you will end with worse relations with your family.
Here's the thing, guys. For me, this movie, it is a really good movie. I just don't think it's, as good as, Captain Marvel. Or,
oh God, you're gonna make people think you hate this movie.
No, I don't.
Because remember, Miss Marvel's the black sheep, so everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's worse than that shit movie. But no. In all seriousness, though, this movie, the problem is Endgame kind of set the standard.
Endgame just topped everything.
So it's obviously not at Endgame levels because there's not been that much build up, and it's not meant to be.
I want to say
it's a good movie.
I want to say I liked it actually as much as Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's somewhere around there.
He likes it as much as people who like Captain Marvel like Captain Marvel. I don't rank the movies within the franchise because, I'm not good at being able to tell you if I prefer a movie more than another movie.
Yeah, it's honestly your opinion.
But yeah, it's a very good Marvel movie. If you enjoy Marvel movies, you should go watch this movie. In fact, why haven't you already gone to watch it?
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, why are you here?
Yeah, if you are not a Marvel fan and don't like Marvel movies, this is a Marvel movie. It's only Black Widow, so maybe you'll like it better than most, because it's just someone being awesome more than it is, actual superpowers, so...
Yeah, we did kind of get an origin story of Black Widow, and honestly, I don't even know why they didn't do this movie sooner.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they did try to do it sooner, and then shit went down, and now they had to do it now. again, this is a tier 3 movie. They should have done in tier 2 at latest, and
yeah, this should have been.
It's being done in tier 4.
Yeah, this movie should have been done around. I want to say phase 1, honestly.
Yeah, should have been in phase. I would say a phase 2 movie because Avengers ended phase 1, right?
Avengers ended phase 1?
I actually don't know. I don't know when phase 2 started.
No. Phase 2... Well, actually... No.
Because isn't that the point of each phase? Is it's based on the Avengers' enemies? So Avengers 1 is phase 1, Avengers 2 is phase 3, and then this was Avengers 3/Endgame, which ends phase 3.
No, the phases aren't just like
they're not exactly that, but it's close enough.
But it is.
But that's the point. I think putting it after Avengers 1 would have been fine. So phase 2, late phase 1, but right before Endgame was too late, but good enough. Now it's after Endgame, and it's like this is way too late. So
yeah, if this movie would have came out before Endgame, I bet it'd have like, it'd be better timed, honestly.
Yes, but yeah, especially.
But that's beside the point. Yeah. I actually wasn't expecting the movie to go where it went.
Yeah. I think we've basically hit the point where we're out of things to talk about that aren't just spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, watch the movie if you want to. Don't watch it if you don't. It's a good movie. Go watch it. If you don't want spoilers, why are you watching this video? The spoilers will start now.
Yeah, so I think my favorite character in the entire movie was Yelena Belova, and they tried really hard to get you to like her.
Yelena was very good. See, okay. So, let's skip to this whole spoilers.
This whole movie was just about how they're going to implement Yelena into
the whole point of this movie was actually not so much it was simultaneously a Black Widow backstory, and does Black Widow have the same thing as like Batman and Superman, or Batman and Spider-Man, and like she has like a whole family that are named after her or something?
Okay, so
because they seem to be setting this up as Yelena is taking Black Widow's spot.
Black Widow is a title.
Okay, so so they're setting it up so that Yelena, her sister, is going to be the new Black Widow, and like is going to go and avenge her.
Yeah, I think what's going to end up happening, because, by the way, guys, yes, there's a post-credit scene.
Watch the post... Yeah, we should have said that earlier, but yeah, watch the post-credit scene. It's great.
Yeah, we're about to spoil it right now.
Yeah.
It is definitely setting up to maybe tie into the Hawkeye Netflix series. Maybe that could be what it's about. They
might be doing that.
Not Netflix, Disney Plus series.
Yeah, the same thing, but yes.
Because they are having Yelena go after Clint. I'm like, why? I guess she's still...
Because she's still an assassin, basically, and Clint killed
I'm wondering
her.
just...
Even though... Well, that's the thing. She's being told Clint killed her by people who are clearly trying to use her. But also they don't know that he didn't really kill her.
Yeah, I wonder who she's working for by the end
that
of
wasn't
movie.
clear. So by the end she's working for somebody and we don't know who she's working for. It was only 2 weeks too.
The only people I could think of that she'd be working for is AIM.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
AIM is well, it was first introduced in Iron Man 3, the Mandarin, blah blah blah.
Oh, those people?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so.
Because they're still around.
I think it might just be a thing of she's working for just generic group that's not going to actually be important.
Maybe.
I don't think it's going to matter.
What's going to upset me is if Yelena kills someone that part loves.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the actual story that they told in this movie because it was like I don't know, it was very well set up. Again, I did not realize she was Cuban. Like,
Yelena?
Well, to be fair, I guess technically Natasha and Yelena are American.
They're American
because they were born in America, but
Raised
in Ohio, and then taken to Cuba, and then taken to the Red Room.
Yeah.
Which I just assumed that was just in Russia. I thought like that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But no. Yeah, but no. Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing surrounding AIM is the most famous. Okay, one of the most famous villains comes from AIM, and that's MODOK.
You mean MODOK?
Yeah, MODOK.
Yeah. I literally just saw a stupid video about that.
Yeah, he has some weird. Yeah. Netflix series.
Some weird shit that. Yeah.
I mean, it looks interesting, but I'm like, no, just no.
The problem is, every time I see MODOK, all I think of is the Krang. Every single time.
That's kind of what he was in the new Avengers
I literally just always think of him as being, oh, it's that guy from... It's just a Krang. But it's like, no, he's actually not related.
Yeah,
because technically...
there's a death battle right there.
Yeah, but also technically, the TMNT is DC, which is weird. But, whatever.
Yeah. What? It's... Yeah, I could. Besides AIM, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think she's working for anyone specific, and it doesn't matter to the point. Point is, she has been tasked with killing Clint because
reasons.
Yeah, she died. Again, I'm surprised they just aren't unkilling her somehow.
What? Black Widow?
Yeah.
The problem is, like, actors like Iron Man and Captain America, they've been around for a long time and their contracts expired. That's why they died.
Well, yes and no. I think, honestly, yes, his contract was expired, but let's be honest, if Disney would have absolutely paid him to be in more movies, it's not a situation of like, oh, their contracts are expired, we can't make any more movies with them. It's more just a situation of they want other people to be in these movies. Because the whole point of Marvel is it's not a static cast of like 7 people. It's a huge roster, and so they want to cycle through some other people.
Eventually, we will hit the new Avengers team. And that looks like it's going to be Yelena, Spider-Man.
New Captain America.
Yeah, newest Captain America. Oh, yeah, Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon. Is he officially being still called Falcon or Captain America?
We'd have to watch the Disney
because I've seen the scene. Because that went around Twitter. That scene.
Where he's in the Captain America.
Yeah, where because he had an entire speech about being Black Captain America, which was just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
So that's a statement right there. But no, like, yeah. So, anyways, getting back to the actual plot of the actual movie, because now we're just talking about the in-credit scene. Like, I liked the sister. Like, I actually had no fucking clue which one of them was Natasha until they said it. I literally could not figure out which one was gonna be Natasha.
Well, it was the chick with the dyed hair, of course.
Yeah, but like, look, I don't know much about Black Widow other than what I've seen in the movies, and they don't really. This is the first time they've shown her backstory, so I haven't seen any of it. So I was just like, this could be either of these girls for all I know.
Anyway,
her whole thing is about changing her hair and identity. How the fuck am I supposed to know which one's her? Like, but yeah. So
yeah, Natasha's always redhead, and Yelena is always blonde.
Yeah. But yeah, so she was great. The sister was great. The father, I want to say the father was great, but I honestly just feel bad for him.
Here's the thing about the father. Okay, so the father is the Red Guardian.
Yeah, like the father's just
sad. Yeah, here's what also got me. He was also at one point the Crimson Dynamo, which is
why they brought it up.
Actually, a Captain America villain.
Yes, that's the point. Is they've merged these two into one person. That this guy is the Captain America villain who fought Captain America all the time and is basically just Soviet Captain America, but no one knows who the fuck he is and remembers him. The saddest part about his character in this movie was not the fact that he was like. They broke him out of prison, to help them out, and that he just was going on and on about Captain America, and everyone was just like, dude, he was frozen when you're at this time. What the fuck are you talking about? You never fought him. That wasn't the sad part. The sad part was when the villain of this movie is mimicking Captain America and beating the shit out of him as a situation.
Taskmaster.
Where Taskmaster is being Captain America and beating the shit out of him, and it's just literally like, you couldn't even take on the real Captain America, let alone Taskmaster being Captain America 30 years later. It's just like, you're literally fucking out of shape, old man. Like, okay. It's just so depressing.
Okay, let's talk about Taskmaster here for a second. I was actually a little disappointed.
I have no knowledge of Taskmaster other than this movie.
Okay.
So I can't be disappointed by anything.
I actually know a bit about Taskmaster. Yeah. So, Taskmaster, the original, was a mercenary who was first tasked with killing Deadpool.
Interesting.
Anyway, he has been a in every iteration except the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
that's an interesting situation, because, well, I mean, I guess they have Deathstroke, don't they? Or is that DC? I literally can never remember which one's DC.
Deathstroke is DC.
Okay, right.
Okay, so Taskmaster is Marvel's Deathstroke, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing, because, like,
so...
Because in this movie, she's just a different widow. She's just
disappointing.
She's not a... Yeah, she's just a different widow.
Them making Taskmaster a widow and a female, that didn't disappoint me.
It's the fact that we know she's not coming back.
I wouldn't know about that one, but it's the fact that it's not the Taskmaster that I like. I liked him him or her. I don't care if the actor was
whatever.
a mercenary
they're
and
a mercenary
woman.
In a fucking suit. Who cares what their gender is? That's not the point.
That I don't care about.
Yeah.
What I care about is it's not the Taskmaster I know.
Yeah. Well, again, and none of that matters to me. My problem is the fact that because they're a widow and and the whole movie is about, we're gonna find and kill the guy who, created the widows, who wasn't actually dead. Yeah. We're gonna, and they had a super serum cure, basically, to cure them of their mind control or whatever. She's now been cured of mind control. Unless somebody else takes over the title of Taskmaster, or she just decides to continue being Taskmaster and murdering Natasha and other people, we're basically done with her, which is kind of the more disappointing thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel the problem is Marvel is very good at having movies and having, one-off villains that play well in the movie.
Yeah.
The problem is we are running out of reoccurring villains that they have, introduced. Yeah.
If
Ultron is a recurring villain that's supposed to keep coming back and back and back and keep being fought off.
Yeah.
Taskmaster is supposed to be a villain that keeps coming back and fought off and off and off.
He is.
And both of them are gone. We can't fight them again.
Here's the thing. Taskmaster's whole thing is to study his opponent.
Yeah.
He gets defeated, but he then comes back with a better plan.
Yeah.
Except when he fought Deadpool. I don't remember how that ended. I think
it's
Taskmaster
Deadpool.
Ended up dying, but I'm not sure.
It's Deadpool. Deadpool probably wrote him out of the story.
Deadpool is the only adversary that Taskmaster actually can't copy the moves of.
Yeah. He's unpredictable.
Exactly.
Yeah, he is drunken boxing the character.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's like...
But yeah, so I guess I wasn't as afraid of this Taskmaster as I was in any other iteration.
Yeah.
That's my disappointment.
Yeah. And again, that isn't what disappoints me. Again, that's the problem I'm having is a structural problem with Marvel itself. It's most of the villains that are in Marvel movies are perfectly fine for what they're doing. They're decent villains. They're not necessarily good, not necessarily bad. They serve their purpose and are fun. But the problem is when you remove the villains, there is no one to have to fight. So, for example, they just introduced Taskmaster and got rid of them. So we can't have them as a villain. So unless they're the only thing I can think they could do is do a Suicide Squad. where they're going to start introducing villains with their own movies and then have them keep coming back in other people's movies. So, like, if they had, what the fuck's his name? The Crimson guy.
The Crimson Guardian.
Yeah, if they have the Crimson Guardian now
Red Guardian.
Yeah, if they have the Red Guardian now being an ongoing villain with Falcon / Captain America, I could see them doing that. But otherwise, they just keep bringing in the villain and then removing them. So now there's the plot has to literally find new villains.
I think in the comics there is some group that is comprised
basically
of,
the Legion of Doom.
No, comprised of nothing but Black Widows.
Oh, okay. So,
but I don't remember what they're called.
I don't know.
But
Widowmaker.
Nah, that'd be
Fight
too
me,
perfect
Overwatch.
of a name for them. But
yeah,
no,
fight me, Overwatch.
No. But again, with Taskmaster, Taskmaster looked cool on screen.
Yeah.
But in the end, I was just no. Like,
and I think that's fair.
I liked the Taskmaster where he's a mercenary and he's under contract with several like outside sources, and he goes
literally the guy that Natasha was dealing with in this movie to get all of her planes and shit is more likely to become the actual Taskmaster than Taskmaster.
Like, yeah, because he has a lot of connections, too.
I have a lot of connections. I get a lot of shit. How do you think I get it all? I murder the people that own them. But, like, yeah, it's like... No.
But...
Yeah. Like, but yeah, in terms of, I keep wanting to call him Red Skull. Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, but I literally I'm not
the
gonna
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian, thank you. The Red Guardian... the Red Guardian was fine. He was very good. He is very sad.
All the time.
I'm so sad for him that he is never capable of actually taking on Captain America at all. Like, the entire movie, he was just like, did Captain America ever talk about me? And it's just like, no. He talked more about Red Skull than you. No one remembers you.
It still fits.
No, it didn't. Yeah, so I hope he comes back as like a Captain America... / Falcon villain.
I don't think he's gonna be a villain. The way they portrayed him in the
probably
show,
not.
I think
but
he's
they
just
could have
gonna
him be like an antagonist.
I think he's gonna be in hiding.
Yeah, it's just disappointing. I so want him to just beat up Captain America.
Just
so sad.
Shit out of him. No. But yeah, the mother I was about.
Mother was she was fine. Just like
her name was Melissa. I'm sure.
But yeah, she was fine.
Like,
but
it's
if there's anything that I was kind of sad about in this movie, it's not Taskmaster. It was just the fact that like the plot was. I don't want to say the plot was predictable. It was not predictable, but it was just like there was a lot of it that was just kind of hand-waved.
Yeah, I like how they did the Mission Impossible thing with the...
Yeah, it was very... Yeah, this movie is actually very Mission Impossible. But, no, the only problem I kind of had with it was just the fact that, like, pretty much all the... most of the movie is just getting everybody together. And then they spend, like, maybe 5 minutes actually getting to the boss... And they don't ever really go over how they're fighting the boss. They just do it, and they kind of flash back to, okay, so here's how we planned to do this thing. It's just like we didn't really have any build up to it. It just kind of happened, and we were just like, and then we're told how it was going to happen. So it was like, I don't know.
But yeah.
Also, I'm kind of I am kind of annoyed. Like, breaking your nose does not sever your olfactory nerves. That literally does not, like, stop you from being able to smell things. So you still would be affected by that.
I'm not sure if that's what she was going for. I thought she was just hitting her head.
No, that she broke her nose. Because that was the whole...
must have...
I literally had to close my eyes when they started to fix her, when she started to unbreak her nose on screen. It's like, that's not how that works. You can still smell things with a broken nose. And if you severed your ability to smell things, you can't just fix that.
How?
So it's like, that's not how this works.
Yeah, you just caused yourself a lot of pain for no reason, but whatever.
I thought the whole thing they were going to do was that because she wasn't mind controlled, that didn't actually apply to her.
Yeah.
And she was just faking it the whole time.
I was hopeful for that too, but no.
Yeah.
No, they didn't do that. That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just playing with it.
I do have to admit, though, I loved the fucking speech. Like, just the whole conversation between the two of them. Where he's just spending all this time, like, clearly showing off, and she's like, the fuck are you showing off so much? Like, I don't fucking care. Just, why are you trying to prove yourself to me? She's like, I don't have to prove myself to anybody. Like, that whole damn speech where he just goes over his whole plan and then starts beating the shit out of her, and she's just antagonizing him with just, like, literally children hit harder than you. Like, just fuck off.
It's so great. I want to say the thing, even though it was funny at times, I didn't care, like, how she got the vest in Endgame. Like,
I'll be honest, I literally didn't realize she had that vest in Endgame. I did not remember that.
You didn't remember that?
No.
It even showed.
Remember it.
It showed the scene of what she looked like in Endgame at the end of the movie.
I didn't process that.
You didn't process?
No. I had no memory that vest had any meaning.
I processed it as soon as they introduced the vest.
Yeah.
As soon as they started talking about the vest, I'm like,
vest.
Oh my god, she's going to end up with this vest by the end of the movie.
It's like, here's a good
and
vest.
I was fucking right.
Yeah.
But don't get me...
I literally...
It was a good bet.
Even not knowing that, I still enjoyed it because of the bit. It was a great bit.
It was a great bit. I just didn't care how she got it.
I still really... I said this partially in the movie. I really wanted that clerk to speak English. Because they were just going off on all this shit and talking about their plans. Revealing who the fuck they were. In front of this store clerk. Yeah. And I just really wanted him to speak English.
I wanted him to say
be like,
something.
That'll be $14.50. Yes, I speak English. Get out of my store, Black Widow, before I call the police.
Also, the bit about how she poses whipping up her hair.
The whole posing bit was great.
Freaking pose. I like Yelena. Like, they did a really good job at introducing her character.
See, here's the really interesting thing. I think this is a good movie to show the difference between the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the Terminator universe. Because both movies did exactly the same thing. They were both movies that the entire point of was to introduce the new character you're supposed to care about. And Marvel is like, here's Black Widow's sister. She's basically going to be the new Black Widow. I enjoyed her character, and am looking forward to seeing more movies with her character.
Too bad how she's going to get there. She has to go after Clint first.
But look at the Terminator movies. In Terminator, they literally introduced a new John Connor / Sarah Connor replacement. I don't remember who she is. And if there's more movies of her, whatever. Don't care. It's fine if they are. If there aren't, don't care. They literally did the same thing. This one is so much better at it.
Absolutely.
Like, if there's anything you can say about Marvel, Marvel is consistently able to tell good stories. They are consistently able to tell stories that you will enjoy. Yeah. They're not all the best story ever told, but they're always good stories.
Yeah, I guess, for me, the only two disappointing parts about the movie was a little bit of Taskmaster and the vest.
Yeah. And again, I guess my complaint is more about I'm complaining less about this movie, and I'm complaining about the cinematic universe itself. Because
honestly, I thought we were going to get Red Hulk. Like, no. I thought they were going to build up a scene where she was going to fight Red Hulk for a second.
Speaking of this movie, this is kind of spoilers for a different movie, by the way. So they did the Shang-Chi trailer.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that character that people were, like, going on about that's in that fight scene?
Abomination.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Hulk villain?
Hulk.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hulk or Hulk villain?
Hulk villain.
Okay.
He hasn't been seen since the first MCU Hulk movie.
Yeah, since many, many years. So it's like, yeah. Which, hopefully that means that the Universal shit has been taken care of.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I'm still waiting for Namor.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit.
I love the fact that people have this are just they know nothing about Namor. I have no idea who the fuck Namor is, what his powers are. I've got no clue. But I'm just like, fuck it, just do Namor. He's basically the Aquaman of the MCU, and I just want him around because
we're probably not going to get him until the first X-Men movie gets introduced.
Well, because we're starting Phase 4, and it seems to be very clear that this entire phase is going to build up to Phase 5 mutants.
Yeah, Phase 5 is going to probably be all about mutants. This one is more
Namor is a mutant.
This one's more the magical, mystical stage.
Yeah, because Namor is a mutant, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's probably going to start the Phase 5 or end Phase 4.
Namor was the very first mutant ever introduced in the comics.
Yeah. Although they are doing the Eternals this phase, which aren't really mutants, but they
were the part where that's how the X gene got to Earth.
Yeah, so so they're introducing the X gene in that probably. And then Namor will show up at the end of Phase 4 or the beginning of Phase 5 to introduce that mutants are starting to appear.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Shang-Chi here for a second. I want to just say right now, I'm already disappointed with the rings.
Yeah?
Because they are not the freaking rings that I know of.
Okay. I understand. But again, you got to remember, it's an adaptation. They're going to change things. You're like...
But here's the thing. I don't know if they're the same rings or not.
Well, I mean, they're effectively the same rings, whether or not they are.
Here's what I'm not understanding. So, the Mandarin is usually the guy that has these rings.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that they are the 10 Makugan rings of power. Yeah. Because they specifically say in the title... Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So that's why I'm assuming these rings are the same, except they're not on the Iron Man villain anymore because he's dead and gone. And also, he was probably the most disappointing adaptation of any Marvel villain I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well,
again, he was a joke, and that was the point.
Yeah. Anyway, a lot of people were pissed off that we didn't get the Mandarin that we know. Yeah. I guess that's similar to Taskmaster in a way, but like I said, I'm not too upset with Taskmaster. I'm just upset that it's not the Taskmaster I know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the 10 rings, it looks like they all have the same ability, and it's gravitational. All of them are they are not the 10 rings where... So, the thing to know about these 10 rings that the Mandarin uses.
Mm-hmm.
The Mandarin uses 10 rings, and each of these rings do a specific thing. They have their own specific thing. Like, one of them controls ice, one of them controls, the wind.
Yeah.
One of them controls earth, fire, etc. These rings that we're being introduced with in Shang-Chi, again, it looks like it just... is about to control gravity. That's all the rings seem to be in Shang-Chi. But then again, I haven't seen everything that these rings can do. And I don't even know if they're the same rings. Don't get me wrong, guys. I know I'm going to love the movie. I just hate what they're doing with the rings. Because... What was it that Kevin Feige said to the producers of the other Marvel movies before the MCU? Do what the comics did?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Again, that's the thing about the MCU. The MCU is doing... The MCU has the Herculean task. The MCU is kind of the first of its kind thing. That's going to sound weird because you'll probably be like, there's been a lot of movies that are just, in an interconnected universe. This isn't the first time they've done that. And that's true. But it's the first time they've done that to comic books. And the problem with comic books, unlike most other literature, is you don't have a lot of adaptations of most other literature. How many times have you seen the same video game readapted? And not just a sequel or a spin-off or like something like that, but a complete reimagining. Like comics for like Superman and for Iron Man and all these other characters have had probably over 30 different adaptations each. And this universe has the Herculean task of setting, this is the prime canon now. This is what we are going to consider canon for this universe based on all the comics and new stuff that we're coming up with. And even though the MCU has said this is not like actually the prime universe or anything, this is just one universe of many, people are still going to go into it, like you, saying, well, I came in expecting the Taskmaster to be this character, and this Taskmaster in this interpretation is completely different, and I'm not happy about that because it's not the one I wanted. It's like, so that's the Herculean bit of this task of they have to introduce all these characters in places that make sense, in stories that make sense, when they all have conflicting stories with each other.
I understand so it's like, but the thing about Taskmaster is literally in every adaptation of him besides this one, he has, as far as I'm aware, never been a Black Widow.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
He's absolutely always been a mercenary that just comes out of nowhere.
Okay, so I know that this is we're probably gonna start calling this here. I'm gonna wrap up our Shang-Chi diet, our separate thing, on this. So I've looked through Wikipedia, which has described how this stuff works. As far as I can tell, Shang-Chi has never actually used the 10 rings that are the Mandarin's 10 rings. There is a school, like, Shang-Chi is about chi, like, literally chi. Yeah. He has trained under the school of chi that is based on the Mandarin's power. So he can use 9 of the 10 ring techniques, but not the rings themselves. He's never mentioned as having ever used those rings. And he is mentioned as having used bracelets made by Stark to focus his power. So it is possible that these rings are not the same rings, and they're literally like power bracelets, effectively. Which would fit more with what we saw in the movie. But it's also possible that they have rewritten the Mandarin's rings to be those bracelets, since they killed the Mandarin off and made him nothing. It's possible that these, in this universe, the Mandarin rings are completely different. I don't know. We shouldn't speculate on it because the movie isn't out and the trailers haven't said anything. So we don't know. So let's not get pissed off about things that haven't happened yet. So all that to say, this movie had some things that in it that, you know, if you were looking forward to Taskmaster and were like, this isn't the same Taskmaster I wanted, then you might not be as happy with this movie. If you want some long-running villains, you're probably not going to be happy with the MCU at all.
I will say this as much. Like, I said a little bit that I am disappointed with this Taskmaster. I am. Yeah. It's not a bad adaptation of the Taskmaster at all.
It's the problem that I had with Starfire, where it's a fine character, but it's not the character that you're adapting. It's a different character. So it's like, why didn't you just create a unique character? Why not just have her literally be called the Widow, like the Widow Slayer or something? Why make her be Taskmaster? But yeah, I think that's fair. That is a fair criticism of why invoke this character that isn't the same character.
I guess the problem that Black Widow had is there wasn't a lot of villains that Black Widow fought besides Taskmaster. Because Taskmaster has frequently fought Black Widow enough to appear there.
Yeah, and so it's an obvious spot. And they were like, I think they were kind of hamstrung by it. They were like, we need a villain to fight her. Like, the whole movie is going to be about her childhood and overcoming that. And so, obviously, the main villain's gonna be the guy who fucking did all this shit to her. Okay? That makes sense. So all the widows are gonna be her villains. Well, yes, but we want to have some threat that pulls her into it that isn't the widows. I guess they could have just cut Taskmaster out entirely. They could have just had the widows come and attack her.
Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, they kind of did.
But, yeah, but like they could have had the widows actually be there instead of Taskmaster.
It would have made more sense for Taskmaster to just be the one that everybody knew, because he was a guy that came out of fucking nowhere and was just contractedly working with the Black Widows.
Yeah, but I could also see this guy not trusting outside sources, like not trusting Taskmaster. So I guess it's like, they're like, okay, well, we don't want it to be the widows specifically. We want to have somebody else instigate it. We want to have a widow killer, somebody who's like literally a Terminatrix. We want to have a widow Terminator. Okay, who the fuck would that be? Taskmaster. Okay, but we need to make sure Taskmaster's controlled by the guy. He's also a widow. What? Okay, sure.
And here's the thing.
I can see how they got there, but it's weird.
Taskmaster could have worked because he will do a lot of stuff for money.
Yeah. But this guy's also reclusive. It doesn't like to let people know where he is and works in the shadows, and I don't know. They could have just made it actually be a normal Taskmaster. I don't know. Point is, the movie is good. It's got some weird interpretations that you may or may not like, but it's a good movie. Watch it. Watch it before you complain.
Watch it.
So, yeah. I think that's it. So, that's it for this hot take. I hope that our opinions are insightful in a way that others aren't, since they're completely unique and, like, not at all influenced on other people's. Although I did actually see that people were talking about Taskmaster on Twitter. I didn't see what they were talking about because I didn't click on it. But I literally saw a Taskmaster trending, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Something is happening. So, yeah. But I had no idea what they were talking about, and I still don't. So I'm guessing they're complaining about it.
Let's get a Taskmaster movie.
Yeah, but maybe. Yeah, that's it for this hot take, everyone. We'll see you on the next hot take, where we will talk about some other movie. Probably not Shang-Chi next. I hope we have another movie in between that. When's Space Jam coming out?
Nope.
On VHS?
I'd say maybe Jurassic World, but that's...
No, that's years out.
No, it is coming out this year, but I think it's at the end of this year.
Yeah.
So.
It's probably going to be Shang-Chi or Space Jam or something. We'll see. Anyways, we'll see you on the next hot take.
Goodbye.